Hello everyone, LJ Young for Debt Ain't My Daddy. Now before watching this video, please click the link below so you can read the actual article on a guy that has $1 million in student loan debt. After you read that, come back and I'm going to give you my 100% debt-free perspective of what this article is really trying to say to everyone. When I read this article, the first thing that comes to my debt-free mind is, did the government hire somebody to write this article for them? For example, when you read this article, what is the first thing that came to your mind? Whew, I feel much better about my student loans because it's nowhere near that guy's $1 million worth of student loans, correct? Am I right? Did it make you feel better about having such a small amount, compared to the $1 million, of course, such a small amount of student loan debt? That is what this article is really designed to do, and I will explain. When you read this article, it goes through what this guy did to accumulate all this debt. If you read to the end of the article, they make it seem like it's almost like a happy ending. Like he got a house, a Tesla, and their view in their house is overlooking snow-capped mountains and all this nonsense. That is not true. Not saying that he doesn't have that, but I want you to understand that it is not a good financial happy ending, okay? I need you to understand that. Now, when you follow me, I want you to make sure, if you can, keep your feelings out of it and only go by my math. If my math makes sense, that's the only thing that makes sense, okay? Let's go through and see how he accumulated this debt. Number one, he went to one of the most expensive schools, dental schools in the US. You could choose another school, choose a cheaper school. You don't have to go to that school. Example, when you go to the dentist and to try to get your teeth worked on, get a tooth pulled, and when you're sitting back in the chair trying to get this tooth out of your mouth, right? You say, hey, wait, hold up, doc. Where'd you get your degree from before I let you start on my teeth? Because if it's not from so-and-so school, the most expensive school in the US, I'm stopping right here and I'm leaving your office. When is the last time you've done that? Never. I know I've never done it, ever done it. Number two, he placed his student loans in forbearance. What that means is that he couldn't pay them or needed to stop paying them or whatever. Just because you stop paying on your student loans does not mean they stop accruing interest. That interest still stacks. It still stacks. It doesn't go anywhere. The money never stops accumulating just because you put it in forbearance. Number three, now stay with me here. Stay with the math. Now, if he has $1 million in student loan debt, that means he and his wife, he's married, he and his wife are negative $1 million in debt. Negative $1 million. That means you have no money mathematically, okay? In the article, they say the wife goes, she got an inheritance, and so she goes and buys a house, put it in her name. It doesn't make any difference. They're married, so it's during the marital union, so it doesn't make a difference. But anyway, she put it in her name and then had her mama co-sign for the house. Instead of taking that inheritance money and putting it down on that student loan debt, they went and bought a house. Or financed the house, a $400,000 mortgage. They financed the house. What that means now is this. Now they are negative $1.4 million in debt. And now on top of that, if they cannot come up with this mortgage payment, now his mother-in-law, her mother, is on the hook for this mortgage. Okay, number four, they are now $1.4 million in debt. And then guess what they go out and do? They go out and finance a Mercedes and finance a Tesla. Why do I say finance? Because they have no money. They have no choice but to finance. Because why? They were already $1.4 million in debt. I'm just pointing out that they did add additional debt with the Tesla and the Mercedes. They try to throw in and say, oh, they got a used Tesla. Who cares if it's used? It's a Tesla. But see how they try to sugarcoat it? It's debt. It doesn't matter if it's a used Tesla, a used Mercedes. It's debt, okay? They're saying those things to hone into you guys, to let you see that, like, it's okay to have student loan debt. You can still get the cars and the houses that you want. Don't fall for that. That is not true. Don't fall for that. Number five, this man and his wife now have to spend the next 25 years giving 10% of his income paying on a student loan for this student loan forgiveness program. Now, think about that. 25 years? He won't be done paying off this loan until 5 years before his house is paid off in 30. That's insanity. Are you crazy? That's pure financial suicide if you did that. But in the article, they're making it sound like it's a good thing. That is not a good thing. This is what they're leaving out. Over the next 25 years, this man and his wife have to cross their fingers in hopes that they do not have any kind of life moment financial hiccup through 25 years. Okay? To where they mess up on a payment, or they can't make the payment. Something happens in their life, their kid, something happens to him, her, whatever. 25 years and you're crossing your fingers, there's not one life hiccup. That's financial insanity, okay? That's not a good thing. But of course they don't say that in there because they want you to feel good. They want you to feel heartfelt about your current student loan debt, because student loan debt is $1.4 trillion. All right. So if you feel good about your smaller than $1 million debt, you'll keep making payments, earning interest for them, and you'll feel better about it. Don't do that. Number 6, and this is the kicker. The article says after 25 years, his debt will have added up to $2 million, and then they will forgive it. Normally people say, whew, that's a relief, right? But you got to remember, he's in the negative this whole time. He has no money. He just thinks he has money. But anyway, so they forgive the $2 million. This is where the IRS steps in and says, oh, $2 million, we're going to add that to your taxable income. And guess what? Since he doesn't have any money, now he's going to be making payments to the IRS, because they said, in the article it says, he will have a $700,000 tax bill that he has to pay. And mind you, he's going to be making payments, and guess what? There's going to be interest on top of that. This man doesn't realize he'll be in debt for the rest of his life. 25 years, he's about, what did he say, 37, 38? So add 25 years on that, and then he has to owe the IRS $700,000. He has to make payments and interest. They just don't let you make payments with no interest. You got to pay. There is no way around it. You have to sacrifice and pay that student loan off. Do not look at it like it's a forever loan. Know why? Because you will be a forever slave. Student loan debt is the new slavery. You cannot get out of it. You cannot bankrupt it. You pay it off. If you don't, it will stick with you until you are dead. Dead. Like dead. And then at the end of this article, it makes it seem like it's a happy ending. It's not a happy ending. It just looks that way to the average person that has student loan debt, to make them feel better about carrying their student loan debt even longer. Pay that student loan debt off. Pay it off. Nobody will own you right now, whether you want to see it or not. Look at it the way you want to look at it. They'd rather you not pay it off. Trust me. They'd rather you keep making payments, put it in forbearance, all that good stuff. Because why? It's interest money. Your best bet is to pay it off, no matter what anybody says. Pay that debt off. If you want a plan, come see me. I will help you. I'm 100% debt-free, and there is nothing in the world that's like this freedom. I never even knew it. You know why? Because I've always been in debt my whole life. I didn't know any other thing. I will create a plan. I don't care where you at. I will create a plan, and if you follow it, you will thank me for the rest of your life. Trust me. All right, that's it. I can go on with this stuff forever. This is my passion. This is my passion. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. Leave your comments. If I'm leaving out stuff, if I'm skipping over stuff, please do not hesitate to ask me. No question is a dumb question. I want to help you help yourself. Because if you feel this, you will never go back. Have a wonderful day.